Hey everyone, it's Izzles, your friendly neighborhood inker, back with another video. Today we're going to be doing a palette challenge. This is a series I plan on doing here on my channel. I hope you guys enjoy it. Looking forward to this. Without further ado, let's get to the video. Welcome guys to Draw With Me palette challenge number 1. This is going to be Grass Boy. Just to kind of give you some background, this is Grass Boy. He is a character I randomly just drew up one day. I actually got the initial idea or concept for Grass Boy from a palette that I generated. So that's kind of where the inspiration for Grass Boy comes from. The palette in question for this video is this one here. I generated this in an app called Pigments, and immediately when I seen the colors, I thought of this plant character, or like, I don't know, some type of plant character, and I thought it would be cool to give him like a potted plant type of head. So that's where the inspiration for that kind of came from that palette. And as you can see here with the sketch, I'm breaking it down into simple or basic shapes as a tip to any beginners watching. Essentially, if you look at Grass Boy here, his sketch so far, it's pretty much just broken down into simple shapes. His head is a half sphere because he has like a potted plant for a head, and his limbs are all cylinders in their most basic form, and then his hips are like a like a rectangle or a cube shape. So yeah, once you understand basic shapes to a proficient level, you can pretty much draw anything you want, in my argument. But yeah, if you look here, I'm just adding in some other details, slowly building up on everything. His hair, which basically are leaves, and for his pose, to kind of give you some background on that. So my inspiration for Grass Boy's pose here was from the Legend of Zelda series. Anybody who's fans of that series should be familiar with Link having an attack that allows him to charge up his sword and spin around to knock away enemies that might be surrounding him. So that is where I got the idea for Grass Boy for this pose. And speaking of enemies, we are sketching them in here. These are, but basically the idea for the enemies is to kind of touch on that. The enemies are potato beetles. So my idea was like they try to eat them because they're like, plants, or like, they maybe not necessarily crops, but you guys get the idea. So these are the enemies that he fights, to protect his village and whatnot. Moving on to the inking portion of this drawing, I decided to use a sepia colored micron. I thought it'd be good to, contrast well with the palette later on. So just inking in him here. My inking style, I don't really think I have much of a technique to it. It's more so just comes to me naturally, hence the name. But anyway, so I'm go ahead and add in some detail here for his leaves. And then right here, I'm going to start adding in the detail now. So Grass Boy, he has like a little tunic on, it's kind of like all centered, so like one side's kind of like cut off, and then he has almost like this like little grassy skirt tunic thing. I don't know what to call it, but yeah, so that's pretty much his attire. And going into more detail here, adding in more of the detail into his legs, and going back to the simple shapes, I'm just more like breaking them down into more complex shapes now. Coming down over here, we're going to start adding the detail to his weapon. which is essentially just like a little, basically a grass blade or leaf blade. The design of it was kind of like on the fly kind of thing. I didn't really think too much about it. If I was going to redesign his weapon, which I probably will, maybe for like a future video, that could be something. But I would definitely make it look a little bit more swordy, if that's the best way to describe that. I mean, it looks like a sword, but it's a little bit too leafy, you know. That's probably my own criticism with his weapon, but now we're adding in the effects here. So the hit effects, my camera started to flashbang me for whatever reason. Alright, adding in some grass details, and then the motion lines for his spin and attack. Also, if you can notice here, I have the drawing like in a border. I always think it's cool to add a border to these types of drawings, because then you can have like things flying out of the border. It just makes it more dynamic, and you know, the drawings like coming at you. So I had the enemies here being like smacked out of the border of the drawing, which I thought was pretty cool detail. This guy, I feel kind of bad for him. He's like really getting the brunt of it. And then this little person back here, I don't know if you guys noticed her in the sketch portion, but this is Petal. This is Grass Boy's little sister. She's very giddy and excited seeing her brother in action, destroying these enemies, or these little potato beetles trying to attack her. Now we move on to the final phase and the main course of this challenge. So this is a traditional palette challenge, even though the palette is digital generated. So going back to the Grass Boy palette, I did my best to match the colors up. I think I did a pretty good job. The markers that I'm using are the QUIRKii Zig real color brush pens. They are amazing in terms of like the quality of these markers. I like to compare them almost to like Copics. They're like mini Copics, honestly. The blending ability that they have. They are not alcohol based, that's the main difference. They're water based, but they blend so well, as you're going to see later on in this process. And right now I'm just putting down the lights, and we're going to build up upon that with the other colors in the palette. So basically how I do, or how I color, essentially what you're going to do is you're going to get 2 to 3 colors that are, you know, similar together, and then you'll blend it out with the lightest color, and that's essentially what I'm doing here. So I had like a lighter yellow, and now I'm going in with a kind of like a darker yellow, and then I'll just build upon that and blend it out with the lighter one, and that's basically what we're doing here. And like I said, I think I did a pretty good job sticking to the palette and like matching the colors up pretty well, so I'm pretty happy with that. Then we're gonna go in with that green color. I think it only made sense to, you know, have the tunic be green. You know, not only is he Grass Boy, but shout outs to Link, you already know. Anyway, so we're gonna go in and then add that color in, blend that out. So we're just adding the shadows, blending everything out again. You really getting that nice gradient. As you can see, these markers are phenomenal at blending. Like, it's actually mind-blowing to me how well they blend. Going back and adding the color to his leaves. So I start with the light color, and I kind of want to have the, the light hitting it from that left-hand side. So we're going to do the shadows on the other side here. Then we're going with the lightest again, blend them all out, and really get that nice gradient. And then for the motion line for his attack, I just thought I'd go with like a nice, that light green color. I think it just made sense. And then we're going in and coloring in his blade now. Adding in that shadows. Yeah, I actually am looking forward to redesigning his sword. I think I can make a way better like design for his sword, but that's my only gripe right now with his weapon. We'll just pretend like it's like some, it's just a whack training sword that he just had with him at the time, and there's a better sword that he will eventually, find, or, maybe he's the chosen one, who knows? We'll see. Then I went in again with that green color to add some more shadows to his skin. And then being cohesive with the attack line or the attack swipe, I thought I'd just go back in with that green color for the hit effects. And then for his sword handle, I kind of just did some hatching with the liner pen to kind of allude to it being like made of like wood or something. Now we're going in with the enemies here. The potato beetle's gonna color in their shells. And you can see on the beetles there how beautiful a gradient that is. With these markers are really great, man. Going in now, just adding in the rest of the color for them. Adding some shading detail now on their skin parts, or their quote-unquote skin parts. I thought for their legs, I didn't want to overuse that light color, so I'm like, you know what, for their legs, and we're gonna switch it up. We're gonna go back with the darker green, and I really liked how that came out. It just made them look a little bit even more appealing, in my opinion. Yeah, these guys are flying. Grass Boy sent these guys packing. They tried to attack his little sister, he wasn't having it. So going back now, we're gonna start coloring in Petal. I just thought I'd give her, like, you know, same kind of concept with Grass Boy's tunic, same color, since we are using a limited palette. And I also gave her a bit of a different design for her grass, or her hair. I had it come off like more like essentially grassy looking in like Grass Boy. His comes off as more like, you know, like leaves coming out of his head. And then just for the little grass details, I thought I'd just add in some, you know, some color there just so it doesn't look so barren in the back. And I went with the darker green just to kind of add some variation. And then the leaves at the bottom, I thought it would be cool to have them coming out of the border. So I really like that there. And then just kind of going in, same concept. We're gonna go with that lighter color. And then we're gonna come in with the next mid-tone and then that dark color to then lay all the colors down. And then we'll blend it out with the lightest one. And this is about to be a wrap, guys. Looks like we finished it. For the first palette challenge, I think it came out great. And yeah, let's get that money shot now. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I had a blast making it. It came out great. Let's take a look at the finished product. Over on my Instagram, I do something called Izzle's Chat, where we'll have like a storytelling elements of the picture. So check that out if you're interested. Other than that, as always, my fellow creatives, remember to think before you ink and have a wonderful one. See you next time.